What's up, everybody? Trinity here. Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. Here we are on Moon Knight Wednesday morning. Yeah, I know it sounds really strange, but Moon Knight has finally premiered on Disney Plus, and today we are going to go into a full spoiler discussion with our very special guest and friend Chillmonger. But before we get into that, I want to say thank you all so much for being here, and I want to give a special happy birthday shout out to one of the Myrtle Maniacs, one of our channel members, Reefer Man Reviews, Wayne. He is here in the chats. Everybody, make sure if you are here in the comment section that you wish our good friend a very happy birthday. And let's go ahead and bring on our guest, Chillmonger. How are you doing today?
Man, it's not Wayne's birthday. He pretends to should be his birthday just so people can say nice things to him. It's really my birthday. I'm the one who's celebrating the anniversary of an Earth rotating around the sun. Uh, it's my birthday, not him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, have
He just says that he likes the attention. Yeah, thank you very much, Trinity.
no
Appreciate
problem.
that.
And as I'm saying, happy birthday to you. And I'll be quite honest with you. That's something I used to do to my friends on Facebook all the time. Is I would sit there and I'd be like, hey, just pulling the thing like, hey, thank you everybody for that birthday wishes, because I would see people like you go on there and there's like people like, oh, thank you for the birthday wishes. I'm like, you go scroll through the timeline like I don't see anybody that said anything, and and that's kind of what they say on social media and everything. It's like, okay, like maybe they all text him, but I don't see anybody saying it. But it's kind of like that cry for the happy birthday.
Mm, exactly, exactly.
But so anyway, I can see.
Hopefully, you get the belated ones. You get, oh, I didn't know. Sorry.
Yes.
You get one of those. But we're not here to talk about birthdays. We're here to talk about Moon Knight from the MCU, from the best streaming service, the one that featured your boy Chillmonger, Disney Plus.
Yes, absolutely. And I can see already. I can already see this Streamlabs is gonna Streamlabs with my scenes here.
Yeah.
And watch is probably gonna go bigger and smaller here in the middle of the stream, and it moved everything else on us too. It moved everything. Yeah. I had all this ready to go. But ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know
Yeah.
Chillmonger, you should go subscribe to his channel. There is a link down in the description. I have him tagged in there. You can make sure that you go subscribe to my man. And so starting right off, what did you think about episode 1 of Moon Knight?
It was impressive. I went in with low expectations, knowing, his tier. There's a reason why we got 27 movies and a lot of other series before Moon Knight showed up. And what they did with him was giving us a Jekyll and Hyde Hulk with a sprinkling of, even Batman, because there was a little bit of detective work that Stephen Grant had to do to figure out what the hell's over and the way he found that phone. So they mixed up a pretty good show, if you ask me.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. How well do you know the character from the comics? Have you read any at all?
Nah, man. I remember reading that Avengers 5-part series. You guys remember that one? That's my expertise when it comes to Moon Knight. The one that came, a year ago.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and well, I'm not super familiar with them. I won't act like I'm the biggest Moon Knight fan. I know I read the original,
Where's the
yeah, the
omnibus?
omnibus, the original run. Really great stuff in there.
Well, we're watching the origin of him in the MCU. I feel like that information should be transferable, and if it's not, then they're doing a disservice to the character by skipping story points. So I think you'll have enough knowledge on this.
Yeah, and I feel like so far, I feel some of that in the show just from the trailers. And what I did was also I think I read through like the first 5 or 6 issues of the Jeff Lemire run, and like getting into that, just those first 6 issues, it really feels kind of like what we see here, not only in the trailers but then getting into this first episode as well. So but I thought they did a
Mm.
really good job here with this first episode, kind of throwing us into this world. You don't really know what's going on as you see things kind of going in and out of sorts with Stephen Grant. And it's very interesting seeing just how it's all playing, especially compared to, I mean, some of the imagery and things we see in here compared to, I mean, even just little things from the comic book that we see and other just flashes that we've seen throughout the trailers. But I thought the first episode was pretty good, and definitely looking forward to episode number 2. Definitely.
I think it was more than pretty good, man. I think we got you're not giving it as much praise as I am, so maybe I enjoyed it more than you did. Me being the shillmonger, of course. But the way that they like introduced a brand new character and kept it very different. There were not too many jokes in here, and some of the lighthearted stuff was kind of funny. Oh, you really shagged her, didn't you? Like she's like, oh, you rascal, you've picked up a date, haven't you? Did forget to do your work before 7 p.m. Like she was like that way with him. Very British, very English, and I laughed at that sort of stuff. But when it came to the seriousness of it, shoot, it was very serious. You know what I didn't like? Some of that CGI. It wasn't too impressive. It was Black Panther in the third act CGI, but I understand why they did it. It is a TV series, and they're we're not here to get a movie quality. I used to think that with the way Falcon and Winter Soldier always impressed me, but when it came to this stuff, nah, monsters and things that are unreal, they don't really succeed in hitting them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I the thing is, like, I'm just waiting to see. I'm not trying to undercut the show, but I'm just waiting to see where they're gonna go with it, like with this character. Just knowing just a little bit that I do know of this character from the comics, but I mean, I think it was definitely a good first episode, and we can obviously see here they are sticking with kind of going the more kind of adult, kind of violent route. It seemed like
Mhm.
they it
Yeah,
seemed like there was
that's
some violence in here. It's kind of like, oh, like they're going there, I guess.
yeah, the way he brought his jaw back together and the bloodiness and stuff was very adult. The way he said, "What the
Yeah.
fish?" was not very adult. It's very bizarre what can pass off. There's certain words that you can say that are 4 letters, but I guess if you say them too often, it goes into the PG
Hmm.
territory. I I am so lost when it comes to the ratings and what gets approved and what doesn't. It means nothing to me, and it should be nothing to you parents also. That's why Daredevil being on Disney Plus is not a big deal because there's literally a show that's TV PG where they said shit and they said things that are, bad words that you shouldn't have your kids watching.
Right.
This was not a kids show. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Um
Absolutely.
okay, that mini rant over. But there was impressive or an impressive, I'll put it this way, there was a lot of times where he switched into Mark Spector that we didn't see, and it had like implied violence.
Hmm.
You were supposed to think that some messy stuff happened here on the road, and that's why the windshield is gone. That was very cheap,
Hmm.
inexpensive. They didn't spend a single dollar on that. They just had someone come in. All right, Hank, do the thing. Smashes the window. Hank goes off screen. Oscar, go. What do they say? Action. And then he's there all of a sudden, and the car is damaged, and he has got to be afraid, which is like, yeah, it means that some crazy ass stuff
Right.
happened. We just didn't get to see it. So we think that this Mark Spector version is like the best.
Right. Yeah, yeah, because we don't get it. There's that mystery there that they leave. You don't really know what's going on through those flashes. And yeah, there is some of that kind of using some of that I guess that Tarantino-esque kind of implied violence where you don't exactly see it, but you feel it just through everything kind of
Oh,
going on.
Spielberg with Jaws.
Yes.
And Spielberg with,
Hmm.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and leaving that mystery out there as well. And to me, I think that's something very important element. I wouldn't even say to like filmmaking with the violence and what they're able to do with it here, but then also just how you can like you don't necessarily always have to show something for it to be scary or anything. Like in a good horror movie, you may not even see what it is that's scary until like the very last minute. It's just like that kind of implied that mystery behind it all. And I think that's kind of something they definitely did very good throughout this first episode with just little stuff like that, like you're saying, those flashes. And the guns. How'd you feel about the guns? Were they just props here and unnecessary?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of guns. There was a lot of times where, well, one specific time where the gun was right there facing him, and I guess we needed to have a dramatic, oh, what's gonna happen for him to change it to Mark Spector. Guns in shows have repeatedly, consistently let me down to where I am so disgusted when I see them. If I ever wrote a fiction, Trinity, there will be zero guns in this fiction. Never. Did you like it?
No, I just asked because I noticed it's definitely one of the things that you always comment on. And I do start to notice, like, is it really even necessary? Because you even see the guy shooting down from, like, at that it looked like they were in that tower, but they're chasing after him, and none of them shot him. You
Mm,
know, but
Stormtrooper
yeah,
accuracy.
yeah,
Exactly.
and but yeah, I mean, and I think with some of that violence and everything getting into it, I mean, it gives me a little hope for what they may do when bringing in Punisher and some of these other characters. I don't feel like they're really gonna fully go there. But if there was any place they're gonna do it, I feel like it would probably be one of these TV shows as opposed to one of the films. Because if it's one of their blockbuster films, they want you to take out the whole family to see it, so they can get as much money out of your pocket as they can. All the while, getting you to take your whole family basically. Where at home you can be like, no kids, you shouldn't be watching this one.
Yeah, it really is that easy. It's called what's the word? Starts with a P.
Yeah.
Parenting.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me see. I think I don't know. I mean, what else do you have from the show? Like any questions or anything you may have?
No, one of the questions I have is silly. Remember that golden man he was talking to, and he wasn't really listening. I want to know how often he spoke to him because it did seem like he spoke to him often. So maybe that golden man will return and be like, "Hey, I know you. You're Stephen Grant." Also, another random question: was that golden man even a golden man? I don't know if he was moving too much. I feel like they could have just had a prop there, and for all we know, we could have been impressed with, "Oh, look, he stays really still," but it's a movie, and he was not really a person. What do you think? Real or fake? Where do you stand on this one?
Yeah, I think he was real. Well, I mean, I think he was like a real human being sitting
Okay.
there doing like the human statue thing, definitely. Because it definitely like stuff like that definitely gave me callbacks, especially seeing everything in here gave me callbacks. I'm not sure if you've ever seen the movie Hot Fuzz, with Simon Pegg and
Mhm.
Nick Frost. Uh, it's
No.
one of those the three Cornettos. What was the three Cornettos films or whatever by Edgar Wright, and basically like it's this little small town, and just weird things are going on there. They got this like cult thing going on with the community, kind of like what we see here with what
Oh
Arthur
my God.
Harrow is doing. But then they also actually even had one of the nuisances of the town was they had this the human statue, and it was a guy all painted in gold, and he would just stand there all day, and you'd see people just doing that, going taking pictures and stuff with them. So, and I'm sure, and I know those things exist in real life when you go to places, but I think he was definitely real. I think he was definitely real.
Okay. We're going with real. You mentioned Arthur Harrow. So that is a comic book character that wasn't originally for this show. They actually used somebody.
Yes, as far as I know, I haven't read that character in the comics at all. I did watch Rob from Comics Explained, and he kind of explained the character a little bit. Um,
Did he say it was amazing?
yeah, amazing, yeah. But yeah, so he is, and apparently he was oh no, oh no, is everything going on with the stream? Okay,
I hear you perfectly
okay,
fine. We're
all
all
right.
good.
My
Mm.
yeah, oh, I don't know.
I'll read some of the live
No,
chats
it's
then if you're
oh,
busy.
what?
Oh, Sheev the Wise,
Oh,
what's up? Reefer Man talking about his birthday. Hello. TJ's in the building. Flash by Night Comics.
I
Hello.
think it was just some.
Speaking of fish,
I think it's just the recording on this
yeah,
side. Yeah. But yeah, we got some very great people here. Yeah, Sheev the Wise, Jedi Jen, Flash by Night Comics, Jedi Mike. Thank you all so much for being here.
all the
Reefer
Jedi.
Man, Will Morgan in the building as well. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Something happened on my Streamlabs. A little message came up. I'm like, what? They didn't say anything about the streaming, but like, I don't know. Everything looks good otherwise.
We're talking about Arthur Curry,
Oh,
what's it?
Arthur
What was it?
Harrow.
Arthur
Yes.
Harrow.
Um.
The way they introduced this guy with that little stupid ass ritual where he dips his finger into the water and drinks it. Okay, pretend the COVID stuff never happened and we weren't germ centric. But even in 2019, I would not dip my finger in. I don't care if it's my finger. I know my finger. I know it touch things into a water and then hydrate. I'm gonna get some fresh water. That was so spooky and scary and bizarre. It was even worse than when that woman he touched turned kind of pale and disintegrated.
Mhm.
That stuff was nasty.
Yeah.
That ritual.
Yeah. And
Mm.
what do you think it is with that? With the glass and putting it in his shoes and walking on it. Oh no! I think Streamlabs just not Streamlabs but Skype. Oh yeah. Okay, Skype just froze up on me. I get it. Oh, I see. I see. That's that's how it's gonna go today. That's how this is gonna go today. All right, give me just a second, folks. We'll get our man Chillmonger back on here. Come on. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry, folks. Okay. There. There we go. There we go. Yes. Let me see. I think it may have. Let me see here. I think I'm gonna have to completely add you back on again. All right. Here we go. There. Oh, okay. This is how it's gonna go. All right. This thing is gonna be a pain today. Um. Okay. All right. Oh no, why is it doing that for? Yeah, I can hear you. Um, it's yeah. Is it still? Can you still hear you on stream? Okay. Yeah, cause I don't know what's going on with it with this again really quick. Let me see why it's list is empty. Yeah, the list is empty. Yeah. Um, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not for sure. It's the I wonder if it's I wonder if it's my Streamlabs. Folks, if it put us back up live. Okay. All right. Are we back on? Okay. Um All right, good deal. Good deal. Okay, let me see. Man, why is this thing? Come on, man. I wonder if it'll let me do this. Apologies, folks. We are having some difficulties for whatever reason, and we're going to work through this really quick. I think we may have a workaround for it, but let me see. Is that it? That that works good enough for right now, I guess. It's probably going to be on a little bit of a delay, but we'll get this work. We can get this worked out as we go here. Okay, and then I can add your audio through here. No, not yet. Should be just a second, folks. Should be able to go here. I'll go here. There we go.
Hi, Nikki.
And there we go. We are back.
Back on.
Okay. Microphone check.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
All right. Looks like that should be good. May have a little bit of a delay on everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But now I need to go into one other thing. Otherwise, they're probably going to hear an echo on your end or on their end. So going here. Not here. There we go. All right.
It seems better, says Jedi Mike. Okay.
Yeah, but at least we've got audio. We've got audio, but it looks like your the video is probably going to be a little bit delayed. But it's all good.
Mhm.
But at least we got you back.
That's what matters.
Okay, and we were talking about the tattoos and on Arthur Harrow.
Okay, yeah, and it moves, doesn't it? I don't think the other ones who kind of showed their tattoos, I don't think those tattoos moved.
Yeah, no, yeah, they definitely did. Not from what I was not from what I seen there on there, but and it seemed like his was obviously, it looked like it was higher up on the forearm, and theirs kind of looked like it was more on the wrist as well. But they may have them in different spots. But yeah, I thought a lot of that was just very interesting. Seeing like I'm not sure what's going on there. Obviously, it's a marking of his henchmen and things like that. And like I said, it kind of did remind me of that movie Hot Fuzz, where they have this town kind of in this kind of cult like trance as well. And so it seemed kind of like that. And then they remember in the trailers they were talking about it being like what is it, Fight Club in Indiana Jones. And I kind of feel like there's some memento in here as well, with the way events are unfolding throughout.
Hey, what about vibranium tattoos? Isn't that what Killmonger had? That's how he proved he was a Wakandan. I don't even have to go far from the MCU to think of another, similarity. That was very reminiscent of that, the way that you could be marked and had something. And also, Trinity, if you could have a tattoo, where would it be on your arm? Or would it not be on your arm?
Well, I've already got a couple. I've got one on some of my forearms. So I mean, it's a good spot if you're wanting to show something off. If you're wanting to be discreet, I would probably say somewhere else, not on the arm or the hands. But forearm seems a good place to to display something that you want to show off, I guess. Yeah, or something that means something to you. But I would think in the case of what they're doing, I would definitely want to have it more discreet, where it's easier to cover up, so people don't know you're part of this cult, so you can kind of infiltrate places like Hydra, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just like Hydra,
Yep.
Tony Stark's favorite.
Yes. Um, but I think again, getting back into the show itself, I mean, I thought they did a really good job making me want to go and waiting to see what's going to happen in episode 2. It just kind of getting a little bit into his his uh, his different multiple personalities as they were contacting him and just kind of skipping between back and forth between things throughout the show. I thought was very cool stuff.
The lot of things with the personality stuff, great. Even towards the end with the room with the mirrors, the washroom, or the bathroom, as you Americans say, the restroom, the gentleman's room, because they were in the UK. Okay, very inclusive here. Washroom, bathroom, restroom. But that room with the mirrors, you're like, oh, I know what's coming, and you got to see all because throughout the episode, we always got to see anytime there was a reflection, we got to see a different person, and when we got into there, that was beautiful. Here, back to the deity talk though. The deities, where there's 7 of 9 that exist. We learned that Amit is the, like, I guess Arthur's, the one that he worships, and she was locked up, and that's why all these terrible tragedies happened. Way better explanation than the Eternals and why they couldn't fight Thanos. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we know where Amit was. Khonshu, don't know anything, but I'm cheering for Khonshu from that voice. That voice was epic, and it was
Yeah.
Khonshu in the credits of the show. It did say voice of Khonshu.
Right. Yeah. And who was the voice? I didn't even watch the credits, to be honest
Mm.
with you.
I don't know. I'd be surprised. It might be like Idris Elba. The way, remember how Knuckles in the trailer just kind of had a sick ass voice? Yeah, Idris Elba did that. So I don't know. Could be anybody.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, I'd have to look that up. I didn't. I said I didn't really pay quite uh, a lot of attention to that. But yeah, I thought the voice itself was very funny, kind of humorous, and that is definitely something that kind of it reminded me of what I read in the in that Jeff Lemire run of the book of the comic as well. Um,
The
uh,
voice reminded you of the comic?
Well, just the way because he actually had Khonshu talking to him, and the way he was talking. I guess the manner in which he was speaking to Mark Spector, just kind of this voice out there that he would hear, and also the fact that Mark in that run was kind of running around questioning if this was all real, what was going on around him. Now, also in that run, he was in like an asylum, an insane asylum, and
Mm,
there was orderlies that were there, and that's the interesting thing about this show, where we seen he was running around, and it looked like he was just in the countryside, right? And then all of a sudden he looks up, and he was there, and there's that tower, and those guards were shooting down at him. And then next thing you know, he's running and he's there near that town and everything, which was interesting because in the Lemire run, you actually see where he's in this facility and this mental facility, and he is there and he keeps flashing in between his different personalities, and he thinks he's out in other places, and he's just seeing different things out there. At one point he steps outside and sees the Manhattan skyline there, like with the pyramids and everything in the background, and very interesting because too some of the characters in there, like in this, we kind of like I see that because like he don't really know what's going on and what's real, and then when we see like his ankle tied to the post while he was there sleeping, and that thing around his ankle looks like something you would have at an insane asylum as
exactly.
well. And so it really has all that same kind of thing because in that Lemire run, they had like orderlies beating him up and just doing all kinds of, just you could tell it was obviously a facility where they were doing bad shit.
I liked the ankle that locked him in, and then there was the tape thing at the door, and then there's also the sand, so you can see his footprint as he leaves. Now we know that Mark Spector is not an idiot. He is very knowledgeable and can even see what's happening during the Stephen Grant time. So if Stephen thought that what he was doing was preventative, he's wrong. Mark is perfectly in control, knows what to undo that Stephen Grant is trying to do when he wants to take over the body, and he can take it for 2 days. You don't even know it. He thought the date was on Friday. Comes to Friday, it's actually Sunday, which is malarkey because everyone who has a phone, not the flip phone, a regular phone, it'll say the day right on top, along with the time. The dates will also be very present. So I don't believe that one. I think he would have known about that. That's a little writing mistake, wouldn't you say, Trinity? Or am I being too harsh?
No, not at all. Because I mean, I think about those things too. Like, you even seen like the films. Like they pay particular attention to that stuff. Like when Steve Rogers flips open his little old school flip phone. That we're like, come on, like, are we still seriously in 2002? We're using razor phones and flip phones. What's going on here?
What's wrong with flip phones, buddy?
But yeah, they always pay attention to the screens and kind of what's going on there, and us nerds go in there and dissect everything that's going on. And so, yeah, surely all that stuff would be on there.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you would notice that. So, no, I don't think it's definitely. I mean, I don't think it's a little nitpick or anything. So, yeah, definitely paying. I mean, I guess attention to that detail is something important.
Certainly would say so myself.
Okay, so let's get here into the chat and see what everybody is saying now that we kind of got things rolling here again. Um, let's see. Here we go. Speaking of fish, I need to know what's up with the fish. Yeah, that was interesting. Flash by Night comics. I'm not for sure what is with that fish. Um,
Oh, I know what happened with the fish. It had a broken fin, and then the
mhm,
new one didn't have a broken fin anymore. Mark Spector, when he was alive and running about, I'm sure that fish died, and to replace that fish was to make would be to make Stephen Grant not know that the fish died. So a new fish was made or purchased and put into the tank. That's what that was. You
mhm.
think there's more to it? I think that's it.
Yeah, I think it could be. I think it could be. I mean,
Mm.
or I mean, since he's going crazy, maybe it's something in his mind that's kind of, one of those triggers to help wake him up. Um, but yeah, I just, like I said, the thing is, he's obviously got issues, mental issues, and like I said, even in that comic run, you can see where he's got and they're obviously leaning into that dissociative identity disorder as well, and yeah, every little thing here is weird too, because even from that comic book as well, you see one of the people he was talking to was something they even mentioned in the show was in the in the comic book it was Dr. Emmett, and he eventually figured out it was Amit,
Hmm.
and that was something else they talked about, and he was talking about in the show as well with some of the gods and things like that out there, and like I said, I like the way they're kind of sprinkling everything in there when he was talking to his supervisor there at the museum about the different gods and everything on there. He's like, there's 9 of them. There's only 7 on here. Um, yeah, I don't know. I
Will
think it's
we
just
see each of them? Maybe I hope we don't, man. If there's 9 of them and this character's going to be here longer than just this one series, let's flesh them out and see which one has what powers, and then we get to see a new one. And is there a stronger one? Let's go down the list and take our
yeah.
time.
Yeah, and well, I'm thinking that maybe they're only going to concentrate on the
Yeah,
two that aren't there. And obviously, I think in this case, it's probably going to be Khonshu and what was it? The other one I just mentioned, Amit.
Amit.
Amit. I'm guessing that's kind of what it's going to revolve around. And I guess is like we've been going on with the doing some streams, reading through some of the Lemire run. I guess we'll see how many more parallels there are to that. So I think there's definitely something. They're definitely pulling a lot from the series, the comic series, into this so far. Just so far from what I've seen and what little I've read of it. But yeah, the fish. I'm still. I don't know. I kind of figure, like I said, it feels like it's something that he's noticing. That's kind of like maybe they're doing it to mess with him, and that's kind of one of the things that maybe keep him confused between being fake and being reality.
Bruh, the fish was simply a Disney Plus reminder that you can catch Finding Nemo and Finding Dory on that streaming service. They also mentioned Avatar, which could be found there, and then the Avatar anime. Which
Yeah.
okay, I guess that you can't find that one. You got to go to Paramount Plus for that one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But Dave Filoni did work on it.
Huh. And there you go.
You ever
But
watched
yeah,
the Avatar, the animated version of Avatar with Aang and the crew?
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's very good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know a lot of people. Lot of people talk about it. I've seen the Avatar movie. I've seen the
Not the best representation, but
the,
sure.
the blue people one. The blue like the
Oh,
yeah
that one, yeah,
yeah.
that's good. That's good.
Jedi Jen, thank you so much for being here. I see we also got Sheev the Wise in the building. I think he called him Crawley, who is a friend of Mr. Knight. Who did he call Crawley? I was gonna say, and that was something else I noticed in the when you were talking like about the phone, is they had the one name, was it Layla, and the other
Mhm.
name was Duchamp, right?
Yeah, it was Duchamp.
And if I'm not mistaken, that is Frenchie. Uh, I think that's Frenchie's last name, who was kind of his sidekick from the comic books, the guy who flew around the little moon copter and all of that kinds of stuff. I
Well,
believe
Mark
that's what his name
Spector's
was.
friend, Mark
Hmm.
Spector's version, not Stephen Grant. Okay.
Well, I mean, it was Steven, like, because he basically knew, like, he knew he was crazy, but he knew him as Mark Spector when they were going through, when he was originally hired as Moon Knight from the committee to go out and hunt down Jack Russell, the Werewolf by Night. Like, they kind of retconned a little bit in the comic books, but yeah, Frenchie was kind of the guy who he posed as a millionaire going in with the committee to hire Moon Knight and to track down Jack Russell, and he gave them the suit to give to Mark Spector. But he knew Mark Spector from when they were in I believe in Africa, some African excursions and things like that for just different stuff that they were going through, like when they first met, like with Bushman, when we first met Mark Spector in the comics. So yeah, yeah, it's kind of like his Alfred almost, but not quite Alfred. It's like he's not Alfred and he's not Robin. He's kind of in between.
Oh my God, the Batman comparisons will never end. They do it on purpose.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it's totally on purpose, and I do,
Like
I
even
do
when he
think the
was
characters are
punching in
different.
they're different enough, sure. But then even when he's punching him in the white suit towards the end of the episode, I'm like, oh yeah, you're vengeance, aren't you? It was so Batman-y.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's funny. Um, let's see. Let's see who else we got in the live chat. I see we got Johnny on the spot, Jedi Mike. Sheep the White says this show sounds fucking dope. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Like I said, I think it was very good. Like, it gave me enough to make me want to see the next episode. Like, excited and hyped. No, I don't know. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it because we've seen kind of what Disney has done, or what the MCU has done so far with on the streaming platform. But this might be one of the first shows that they've actually had the full production there and available and all of that stuff for what's going on.
I'm laughing how Mark Spector comics popped up in the live chat, and that is just the perfect timing with the perfect guy for the perfect stream.
Yes, absolutely. Um, let's see. Jedi Mike says walking on broken glass is something a character may have done in the comics. Heavy spoilers mentioned it to him. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, and I figure it's kind of something like with their cult-like thing, or maybe like it's, I don't know, reminds him he's alive. It's like walking on fire or something. But it also makes me think of the sand around the bed. Do you think there's anything to the sand around the bed?
I thought that was just evidence. If there's a footprint there, then it means that was sleepwalking because he just thinks he sleepwalks, right? The way he was explaining it to the man in gold. Oh, it's supposed she won't know. Like he was acting like it was a weird thing of him, but not supernatural weird thing of him, just a weird thing of him. The sand is just footprints. That's all. That's why he filled up this footprint later on when he was going to go back to bed.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, I'm not for sure.
Egypt
Like,
related.
well, I don't know. I wasn't for sure. I mean, I was thinking, I'm like, what else could this sand be for? Because I was thinking, like, also, kind of like one of those sacred ground kind of things. And like, God, what was it? Like Dracula
Mhm.
would, I think it was in Dracula, like, didn't he ship his coffin across, across the sea, and he had like the sacred dirt and everything there with him on the ship at the same time. I was thinking maybe it was one of those kind of things as well, maybe like a superstitious thing or something to do with, I don't know, maybe there are those Egyptian sands. That's that's the kind of stuff I was thinking about.
Well, I am
But
not ruling that out because we don't know exactly where they're gonna go here.
yeah, well, and the thing and the thing with the footprints makes sense. Like I didn't even think of that. I didn't even, like that thought didn't even cross my mind. But that does make sense considering he's taping up the door. He's got all the
Yeah.
little locks and everything.
Every precaution he was doing was just to manage his sleepwalking.
Yeah, yeah. Jedi Jen says putting himself through pain and suffering for his beliefs with the glass in his shoes is how I took it. Yeah, and that makes sense, Jedi Jen. Absolutely. Yeah. Chillmonger says I was talking to nobody. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, yeah, the screen, red
I
screen of
just
death.
repeated everything.
You said the red screen of death. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I remember that red ring of death, man. I got it once.
Xbox. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Nikki in the building says haven't watched it yet, but have a good stream. You'll figure, yeah, you'll figure it out. We got to figure it out. T Rev, thank you so much for being here. Jedi Mike says the balance of the scales tattoo seems like purple magic. It could be like we've seen like Agatha and everything with her purple. Yeah. Rhea, thank you so much for being here. Perp minded in the building. Says I like Kevin Bacon as the main villain.
I thought that was Ethan Hawke.
It is.
Oh, they look
Uh,
alike, don't they? They totally look
yeah,
alike.
yeah.
What?
Dude, like all white people look alike, bro.
Oh god, I did not say that at all. Views reflected are those of Trinity and not Chillmonger.
Well, doesn't everybody always look alike? Like everybody looks alike, right? Mexicans, we
Uh,
all look alike. It's the same thing, right?
I don't want to agree with you, but I'll smile.
It's okay. It's okay. Whenever we go out places, my kids they're half Japanese. My wife's Japanese. We'll go some places. We'll see other Japanese people. I'll be like, hey kids, it's your cousins. My wife, she just laughs. She laughs.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Your cousins. Do
um,
they speak the language? Never mind. Never mind.
no. You know what? They don't. They don't.
Don't give any information about your kids. I think I don't want to be part of that. I think protect them and shit.
Yeah, no, you're good. But no, they don't. I don't either. I need to learn. F. Murray Abram. Oh, is that who's doing the voice?
Oh, the
Okay.
voice of Khonshu. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. F. Murray. I like F. Murray Abram. So I think that's a pretty good choice. He's great. Amazing mystery of items hidden in his home. Also, beautiful museum hunts are going to be fun. Yeah. Yeah, very acclaimed actor. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he is a very acclaimed actor. Um, is his mom real? See, and that's something else. That was something else too that reminded me of Memento. Was he's sitting there talking on the phone to his mom and all of those kinds of things?
Right.
Who's he talking to? Is he talking to like a service? Like, is there somebody talking
It
back to him,
can't be.
or is he just
There's
leaving
no way it's
messages?
his mom. I didn't think of it until now, but I do not believe that was the mom. I think that it's Layla. That's who it was. No, it wasn't Layla, but it was not his mom.
Yeah, I definitely think it's not his mom, and I think if anything, if he is in an insane asylum, like a place like that, a mental health institution, which was funny because uh, even in the comic books, Mark Spector actually remarked about the being in a mental institution. He's like, these places don't exist anymore. When he was trying to figure out, like reality and stuff like that. So yeah, and that's kind of like I said, a lot of this stuff, like I said, that I've read from the comic books and seeing in here, definitely very, very interesting with thinking about that. Because I think on the phone, like, who would he be talking? Like, what are all these things that he's getting? Where is he finding them? These mystery spots, like, and it makes me question the reality that's really going on all around him. Everything that we're seeing here. I mean, are we seeing is what we're seeing even real? That's what I'm wondering, because we're seeing kind of everything
So
from his perspective.
we know it's real. We know what is fake. What it- what okay, the real and the fake stuff for me is him not knowing what he does when he goes to sleep. That's where the real fake stuff goes. Just because we don't know what he does during his sleep, or at the time we didn't know, no, that was the mystery. But now we know. We know everything is real. There's not a single fake thing that has happened in this show. It all is real. Like, what could you say isn't happening to him? What are you pointing at?
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is totally Mark Spector taking over and making stuff happen, and then he just kind of wakes up to see the mess that Mark Spector put him in.
Mm-hmm.
Even the freaking Khonshu thing following him, which was crazy. Remember when it was just on the street? No one noticed that.
Yeah.
Um, I can't explain it, but it was real to him
Mm-hmm.
and avoidable to the rest of the world. I need further detail on that one. That one's a murky area, but it was definitely real to him.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. The and speaking, like, because like it makes me wonder, just like where he's all of a sudden there in the middle of that countryside, running from those guys that are shooting at him. He first runs into Arthur Harrow. Then next thing you know, he's in the middle of London. Are these happening at different times, or what do you think is going on there?
I think he was there. That's Stephen Grant. And then when he shows up and he's all of a sudden, that's the time in between that and that. Mark Spector was in control. That was like the
Mhm.
2 day gap.
Right. And they did establish that too with the 2 days and everything. Him missing his date, and him being a vegetarian, and all of a sudden he's eating steaks. like I was like, okay. And it was funny too, because they do make a point of pointing certain things like that out, and even the 2 day thing. I mean, you're bringing that up. I mean, it just makes you wonder, like, is where that gap is from what we're seeing in these different scenes from when he is there. Like I said, I mean, I guess that is just what it is, from when he's there at the museum to where he's there in that town being chased to where he's back in town and late for his date. So yeah, I guess that explains it. I guess you got
Okay.
it.
Or I'm wrong. Or I'm completely 100% wrong. And they can go, Chillmonger, you idiot. How dare you? You know nothing about Disney Plus.
Nah, I think you got that one right. I think you got that one right for sure. Which two gods were missing from the seven? Was it Khonshu and Amit? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. Name of the episode: The Goldfish Effect is about not knowing the surroundings immediately around you, not the connected universes. Not only knowing that. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
The
Kind of like a
goldfish effect. I
force
know
for
the
the
butterfly
trees.
effect.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Goldfish have a 5 second memory. I thought that was the meaning of the title. You know what? And it could be. It could be.
Wait, are we
Yeah.
supposed to know that? That's the first I've
Right.
ever heard of a goldfish having a 5 second memory. Did you know that already?
Nope. Nope.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
But
good.
yeah, I'll take your word. I'll take his word for it. I'll take his word for it, because that sounds like some nerdy shit. That, I mean, if you bring up, I'm gonna be like, maybe I'll look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is Magnum PI's helicopter guy. There you go. Mark Spector Comics, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I hear my name. I appear. Yeah, absolutely. I thought the sand was shaped like a quarter moon. Oh, was it? Was it shaped just like a crescent around the room? I thought he had fully around the bed. Um, let's see. Mark Spector Comics says the god Skemet was said to breathe fire, and the hot winds of the desert were linked to her breath. Interesting. Interesting. The sand could be reminiscent of her. Okay. All right.
Oh.
And that might make some pretty good sense there.
All these smiling emojis is when we were talking about Ethan Hawke looking like Kevin Bacon.
Right. Yeah, I was looking at the time. I'm like, okay, we're not that far behind yet on the chats. Mark Spector Comics says, I'm going to break down of the Ennead, I can't remember how you say that on my channel. So many gods mentioned in the first 15 minutes. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's kind of the thing is like I don't think that any like they're all going to be relevant to the show quite yet. But I think they're relevant in the sense of just some of my other theories that I have. I think it's his voice. I think it's voicemail. He is leaving. Says Jedi Jen, and that's what I was kind of thinking too. Like maybe he's missing. He's missing the calls, but he's still talking to his mom and leaving a message anyway, because like that's what you do. Um, but yeah, and it makes me wonder, like, do we? I mean, do we even know yet what year this is in? Because I know in the trailers we seen some of the stuff for the GRC and everything, but in this show on those buses, I didn't see the GRC ads yet.
Yeah, the Global Reappropriation Commission, like the people who take care of you after the blip. Good, recollection. Good, good, good. I don't know the answer to that question, and there was a moment I was thinking about what it was. They didn't say the year. But then again, when have they ever said the year? We might just have to wait for them to say it from like an actor or director to announce it.
Right, right, and
On
that's
Disney Plus, where does it line up on the timeline? That too.
yeah, and that's kind of was another thing because that I was really looking at when it comes uh, to just thinking about that is when is this taking place? Because obviously we can see how old Stephen Grant is, and that he didn't just pop up in the MCU as a little kid, and he's so however like that new. Obviously he's been around for a while, but how long has he been Moon Knight and doing this thing? And like what like did that like what we're seeing now, did this happen pre-snap and then he was Moon Knight before that and kind of going crazy and maybe got locked up or whatnot, and that's where he's at now in this
Yeah, wouldn't that be
institution?
cool if they'd be blame it on the snap and how blipping would make 50% of you go away, or I don't know, some math towards it, why they share the body now? That would be interesting.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, just because I was thinking about it, just like all the little timings of where, like, where exactly is this? Because like I said, I do remember the GRC thing being on that bus, but like that could have been Marvel trickery. They do that.
They lie straight up.
Yes.
Better than
Uh.
Sony trickery, where they'll put the end credit scene in the movie
Ooh.
trailer to make you think something's happening.
Ooh. Dang. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I
Save
honestly
your money.
Yeah, I honestly was wondering if I was even gonna go see that at the theater anyway. I may still go see it at the theater, maybe just wait till Tuesday when I can go see it for cheaper. Um Next week because we have discount Tuesdays, but yeah, my hype level for that might be
Everybody
low.
has discount Tuesdays. Like you said that to me, and I'm like, kind of like, yeah, everyone knows that. You didn't have to say that it was a discount Tuesday. It's known. That's like a thing everywhere.
I think so. I think it is. I think it is. It's probably like the lowest viewed day or whatever. Like so, they're like, hey, everybody get in here.
Hmm.
T-Rev says 3 days or later have passed. The beginning with Steven is Friday morning. He gets back Sunday afternoon. Yeah, absolutely. And that obviously gives him time to get back and forth and doing stuff. And um, yeah. Fanjecture, my man Adam is in the building. Says biggest flaw in this episode. There's no way a self-respecting
Yeah.
steakhouse would recommend their customer get it well done. Major plot hole. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not for sure about you, but how do you like your steak?
Actually, well done. I don't like the rareness, the pinkness. Cook my food.
Okay. All right.
I'm
All right.
sorry. Wrong answer.
You like beef jerky, huh? You like beef jerky. Huh?
I guess if that's what you want to call it.
That's what I always call it is beef jerky. I like mine medium rare, but it kind of depends. Some places that you go, you might have to ask for it to be a little bit more on the rare side because like I don't know, but some places I've been get it just perfect at a medium rare. Yeah, but yeah, he is right. No
Hey,
steakhouse would do that.
if it's undercooked, you can always send it back to heat it up more.
Yes. Yes. Well, man, that's kind of different. It's a little bit different, but yeah, it's salvageable. It's salvageable. Then,
Medium rare, says
yeah.
Adam.
Saying that Mark asked the girl on the date on Steven's behalf. Um, Yeah,
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 exactly. That's
must
what
have
happened.
been. Yeah, must have been Mark in
Because the way that
charge.
she was saying it to him was like, "We already had this discussion," and then he
Right.
goes, "Oh, are you asking me out?" She's like, "You're being so silly."
Yeah.
Remember? Like he doesn't even know he did it. But like, what the hell? Mark Spector has interest in girls. Why? Why is that guy who's just not a villain but a vigilante? Why is this superhero Moon Knight Mark Spector going after ladies? Like he doesn't know he has this split personality type thing, and he knows he cannot commit to a time and date. That's weird. That might need some explaining of why he went after her.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Um. Yeah. Remember they said the kitchen was just closing. Spite recommendation. Oh man, that's oh man, that's good. But yeah, I did think about that too. Like obviously, is one of those things where obviously it was Mark Spector who had asked her out on that on the date and everything, and she really seemed like she was into him too. She didn't really seem like she thought of him as that dork who works in the gift shop. She seemed like she's genuinely into her. Like her flirty demeanor was one that she was very much looking forward to going on the date. And it didn't seem like the way it seemed like it didn't seem like she would probably be that upset about, well, I don't know, I guess anybody would be upset about being stood up. But it seemed like she might be willing to say like, "Oh, is there an excuse?" But then she probably heard him on the phone talking like a crazy man, thought it was Friday.
It's over.
Weird Spice said, "Well done." Like you. The kitchen is closing. I want you, and you want your meal now. Yeah. Get to them rare. Less time to cook. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, medium rare. Medium rare. Yeah. Thank you, Mark Spector Comics, for being here, guys. Make sure you go check out Mark Spector Comics as well. He's going to be breaking down a video of all the different gods. So that'll be interesting to check out.
I just subscribed, so I'm gonna see what he's got cooking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
I know
pretty good
Adam.
too. Yeah, he's pretty
I
good
know
too.
a dude reviews who just entered the live chat posted a
Yes.
video himself a few minutes ago. I saw that notification.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. A bunch of good people here right now. Let's see. Also the common belief is that goldfish have 3-second memories, but it is a myth apparently, but commonly believed. Oh, okay.
Ah,
All right.
your live chat is not as smart as you once thought.
Yeah, I guess
It is
not.
a myth.
Mm-hmm. But I mean it could be one of those kind of old wives' tales things that they're just playing on, you know? Love the medium rare myself too. Yeah, absolutely. Hey man, even people with split personalities need some loving. Yes, yes. But I mean, are we getting like if Mark Spector starts that and Stephen Grant takes over? Are we going into Wonder Woman territory here? Is that kind of are people going to freak out about that? It's just,
No, there's not going to be a wish, is there? I don't think this is enough as Wonder Woman. I think it's more like Hulk, Jekyll Hyde type Hulk stuff than it is Wonder Woman.
okay, all right, fair enough, fair enough. Um, Gosh, what else? There was, like I said, there was still quite a bit that happened in the show. Like again, gave us it still leaves us with some mystery to find out more in episode 2. Like with Arthur Harrow too, exactly what's going on with that character, and exactly what he's doing because it does seem like he's kind of leading this cult of people, and where we saw it was with for Amit, and in the comic book too as well. That doctor there was Dr. Emmett. She at one point had like an alligator head, and we've seen alligators actually shown a couple of times throughout this episode as well as like the little alligator heads that were in the tattoo and on his cane.
And don't forget the way he'd end phone calls with his mom with later Gator.
Right.
It's there,
Yes.
it's creeping in the background. You
Mm-hmm.
know what other saying he said a lot? Cheers. That was a big one.
Cheers, huh? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Chillmonger, I think Trinity meant banging an unconscious dude. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. About the
Oh,
yeah. That
because yeah. Chris Pine was
yeah.
inside the body of the other dude.
Yeah.
I feel like is that really that much of a big deal that, because the guy didn't remember that he did it with Diana, with Wonder Woman. So the actual guy whose body that is, I don't
Right.
know. If you don't know, it doesn't hurt you. Did it's Diana, you know?
Yeah.
What
Yeah, I thought I understood where people were coming from with those arguments and everything, but at the same time, I was kind of like, I mean, I think we're looking at like we're talking about Wonder Woman here, this super fantastical like movie. Like,
Mhm.
there's sort of a suspension of disbelief, I guess.
Yeah, you got to use superhero logic on that one.
Yeah. So did the woman he was supposed to go on a date with? She said, "Cheers." Are they are in London? Remember? Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. And
Ooh,
you
but
know,
so is a dude who reviews is in London too, and he says the English accent was suspect.
oh, okay, yeah, Mark Spector's, yeah, or I mean Stephen Grant's, yeah.
I was impressed by it, and now I feel bad for being impressed by it.
Yeah, and cheers, Ted Danson in the show confirmed. Yeah, there we go. We got Ted Danson coming up. We got Ted. Oh man, that's funny. The But yeah, and that makes me wonder too, because like it makes me wonder what he's doing working there in a gift shop at at this museum, where obviously he's into these relics and everything kind of going on, and you even seen the boss make mention like, look, you could come in here and flap your gums about all this stuff. You're not leading the tours. You know, he's kind of like, oh well, that's kind of heartbreaking.
Mhm.
but like there's and even you know what and we didn't even get into the whole Indiana Jones part of it either. With like the scarab, where he's running around and he has no control over himself. He's trying to give the scarab away and he can't, because obviously Khonshu don't want that to happen. But what is that? What do you think that scarab is a key to? It's obviously a MacGuffin, but it probably leads to something.
I don't know what it leads to, but I'm open to see what they do with it. It made me think about Blue Beetle, if you're familiar with that DC character, and Egypt and all that stuff. So whatever they do with it, I'll be surprised by it, and I'll probably like it.
Yeah, yeah, and well, me, I kind of think of it like as like the reference of Indiana Jones. It makes me think because like in Indiana Jones, remember they took the little thing, which was funny because they had a very similar kind of thing there in the museum, but like they took and they put it on that staff and they shown it in that little temple, and the sun shone through and it revealed the little path and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like it's like that. I feel like it's something that's like a key to something, some
Mhm.
sort of these ancient relics and everything. And the other thing is because I had this theory. I'm not sure if you've seen my theory about what we're talking about here is probably through celestial technology. I
I didn't see
feel,
your theory video, no, but that sounds interesting to me.
yeah, well,
So
because
it would link them to the Shang-Chi 10 Rings thing with Phastos's inventions and everything that, we think that Ms. Marvel, her bracelets are attached to, maybe even Phastos's creations. It's all linked that way.
well, I was thinking Cersei more so than anything, but possibly Fastos may have something to do with it as well. When getting into it, like they may have developed some of this stuff together because like. And the thing, what really got me was because if you go watch Eternals, the movie starts off. They're at 5,000 BC Mesopotamia, and Mesopotamia is they're kind of in the Middle East, and where it's located is this in within this thing they call the Fertile Crescent. And within the Fertile Crescent, you actually have Egypt, and where the pyramids would have been and everything, as well as a lot of where like Babylon, Mesopotamia, all these areas were kind of in there together. And when we seen the Eternals arrive, we seen that Cersei arrived and she took that kid's little dagger that he was using and turned it into that golden dagger, which we seen later she took the picture of and everything that was on display at the museum where she was actually there working and teaching those kids, almost like she's looking over these relics, like kind of safeguarding them, if you will. But it was that same dagger that she changed for the kid into that golden dagger. And then it made me think of like because she turned it to gold, and how their technology that they use looks very much like a gold. And then you think about like Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings and how they didn't know what they were made of, and that it was kind of sending off this beacon, and it made me think that maybe it's the same thing, which we learned in hindsight later once the Eternals actually came out after Shang-Chi. And then it made me think of um maybe
Made me
what
think
we
of how excited you'll be for Captain Marvel 2, where she solves this problem. Yeah.
yes, or it made me even think of like Ms. Marvel, where she does have, we can see she has like the little gauntlets that she puts on, which I mean, could easily be the Nega bands, or even the what's the other ones that basically apparently they said the Nega bands were kind of based on the
Power bands. I don't know. I heard Comics Explained talk about it too.
yeah, I can't remember all of a sudden. Like it'll come to
You
me.
think you think nega bands is a word? Because think about it, nega bands. You don't want people to say that word too fast, or you know, get interpreted the wrong way. I feel like they'll stay away from that. And if
Yeah.
they didn't, I hope they're watching this video and they go, "Oh, Snow, we need to change the name of it right now." You know,
Yeah, quantum bands. There
quantum
we go.
bands.
Yeah, and which brings up a whole other thing for me too, because like I swear there's that second character in the Doctor Strange 2 trailer where we seen that was flying through there, that was all glowing and everything. That I think there's two different characters there, but I feel like this would be technology, because I guess in the comic books one of the things they did was with the I believe it was the nega bands that were the Kree technology, were somewhat based off of the quantum bands, which ended up supposedly being, I guess, maybe retconned into being actual celestial technology. It was like made by the Eternals or something, I believe. And it was they were kind of based off of that, and it kind of started making me think that maybe all these things, like we learned in the Infinity Saga, we had the stones where they were take and you could take and harness the power of the stones and recreate it. You could also take those stones and use them all together, which made me wonder if you could take all that power from the stones and just recreate them, and or at least the energy that they're using anyway. But doing all that, we learned that it was just basically a powerful technology that could be harnessed. And it makes me think that maybe what we're seeing here is the same thing with this celestial technology that is kind of this gold technology, because it looks like even Moon Knight's armor has some sort of gold plating underneath it. And it just makes me think even more so of this kinds of stuff. And then even thinking about how
I don't know if I saw that golden plating.
yeah, I think there's like some golden plate, like some of his armor and everything, and then you even like hit the moon, his little his moonerang, if you will, is
Mhm.
like is made of like the same kind of like gold material. And it's interesting, and it makes me think it's all tied together, because they even made mention of some of this stuff when like he was sitting there talking to that little girl that put the trash in there, and he was talking about like, oh, they didn't have this stuff to eat, they had figs and they had this and that, because like really where we're talking about the Fertile Crescent, where all this was at, is kind of the birthplace of civilization, where crops were first introduced and all these different kinds of things. And like and that's what really makes me think that maybe what we're starting to see in this next phase of films is this technology, like the Infinity Stones were, is maybe celestial technology that has kind of been put out there throughout the different worlds, where maybe it's the Eternals have been, maybe not even these particular Eternals, maybe other Eternals out there going and saving planets and doing their thing.
Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of these weapons which are wieldable by basically anyone. Where the Infinity Stones, there were only 6 of them. They were they were collected. Honestly, we didn't really see people use the Infinity Stones aside for Strange with the Time Stone. That was it. Every other stone that was used on other people. Like the quantum bands or every other artifact now that they're introducing are a bit more interesting for the story, and plus they're less powered. They're not the freaking 6 beacons of energy that began a universe. You know, they're a lot more leveled. You can see a guy win with them or lose with them if he doesn't know what he's doing with them.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah,
it's not
absolutely.
trash, it's rubbish.
Oh, my bad. There you go. But yeah, and the but I feel like that's what it is, because like we're like you're saying, they didn't use the stones exactly, but they did always try to use and harness the power from them all. But I think that's where a lot of this stuff came from anyway, was from the stones. Obviously, we've seen Tony Stark recreate Dr. Zola's element. Um, yeah, I said
He did
it.
the
um,
Stark Sham.
We seen that, and I feel like all of these other, like I said, these other artifacts have been out there for a while. Like even in Shang-Chi, they're like the 10 rings. Like, how old are these things? We don't know. It seems like they're older than the Earth itself. So it makes me like that's kind of what my theory is behind all of it, and I think that would make sense too, considering if we look at maybe the Egyptians and some of the deities and stuff like that, where we're talking about Khonshu and all that stuff, maybe some of that was brought about by the Eternals and everything that they were doing, because people who could do stuff like the Eternals were doing back then were obviously thought of as gods, and maybe some of these weren't necessarily like I don't know. but I feel
I
like
don't either.
I feel like that's kind of we're kind of getting into some mystical, magical, cosmic stuff.
Yeah. And with a museum, there's puzzles to be answered, and the answers will probably be found there with all the books that they have.
Yeah. Yep. And it is interesting that he's working in that museum. It makes me feel like it's a plant to make sure that he can be around or seeing what's going on, because like sometimes exhibits move from to different locations, and it makes me feel like if maybe that's what he's doing.
This one was a free exhibit, according to that security guard.
Yeah. The exhibit there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Naked bands were Kree. Quantum bands were created by Eon, a cosmic being. Cosmic beings are celestials. Yeah. Magical mystery tour. But yeah. Like I think all of that stuff was a lot of I think that's the technology we're getting into, and I think I could see some of that stuff. I don't know how it all kind of starts to tie together, but anyway, man, I think that's all I've got for today. Probably end up shooting a review and everything. But is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or bring up about the show before we go?
No, I think we touched it all.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for being here with us, Chillmonger, once again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't subscribed to him, make sure you go check down in the description and go check out his channel. Is there anything you got coming up? Any reviews or anything that you want to plug before we go?
Yeah, I recorded myself watching the show and reacted. If you watch this, you probably are going to hear me just say everything I already told you now. But on Saturday, 33 burning MCU questions. You better believe there's going to be Moon Knight questions on that stream.
All right. I'll be there. I'll be there checking it out. And God, there was something else I was getting ready to bring up, and I completely forgot what it was now. But I guess anyway, thank you so much again for being here with us, Chillmonger. Make sure you guys go subscribe to him, and thank you all so much for being here today through some of our technical difficulties as we got them sorted out here on the fly. You all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later. Oh, is this thing?